And then one last thing I want to always stress, and I feel like this is almost like in every episode kind of a thing, is physical health. You're only as healthy mentally as you are physically, and you are physically as healthy as you are mentally. Those go hand in hand. That's why the gym is such a benefit, not only physically, but also mentally. And I want to stress the importance of working on your physical health. You don't have to go crazy overboard of you're going to fast for 24 hours and you're going to go to the gym 5 times a week for 2 hours. None of that is necessary. Unless you want to, that's fine. Like, for example, me, I go to the gym, I want to say 4 to 6 times a week, and I spent about anywhere from 2 to 3 hours at the gym. I like the gym a lot. That's where I do a lot of my thinking. That's where I do a lot of my you can say mental work as well as physical work. I like doing physically hard things. And if you have not gotten used to doing physically hard things, it's something that you should maybe try to do. I'm not saying you gotta like carry the boats like David Goggins, all that kind of stuff. No, just push yourself physically a little bit every time. I'm not saying you have to do some crazy ass weight or anything like that, but whatever you're comfortable with, whatever you are comfortable with that gets you out of that comfort and makes you uncomfortable, that's what you should do. For example, I always hated cardio, and cardio is something that I tell myself I'm going to do every single week, and I always tend to kind of push it off. So as much as I hate cardio, I've been trying to do more cardio because it's something that's tough. Like weightlifting, to me, that's fun. I'm comfortable in the uncomfortableness of weightlifting, but what makes me really uncomfortable is the Stairmaster, the treadmill, all that kind of stuff. Like hitting the bag, that's cardio, things like that, but that's something that I really enjoy doing. And the cardio in the sense of like stairs, treadmill, that's the cardio that I dislike, and that's something that I'm continuously working on. And I feel like that makes me a physically and mentally better person because I could push those boundaries of, hey, I could run a little bit more, or hey, my legs are tired and my mind is telling me to stop, but guess what? I can go a little further because I'm not dying here on the treadmill. I'm not going to die on this treadmill if I stay here an extra 5-10 minutes, right? Like, I'm not going to die if I end my workout with a 15 minutes of Stairmaster, right? You're not. But it's just about breaking that mental barrier of you telling yourself, no, I don't want to do this because I don't have to. That's what it's about. Because it translates to like the simplest things in life, like procrastination. You have to go return something that you've been meaning to return for the past week, and you just don't feel like going to return that thing. The work in the gym helps you break that, and you might not even notice it. It might just happen subconsciously and naturally where you're going to see yourself procrastinating less. Because a lot of times we procrastinate, not because we physically can't do something, it's because we mentally hold ourselves back from doing that thing. And going to the gym and pushing past your physical and mental boundaries allows you to almost normalize pushing past that mental character that's holding you back. And that also translates into bedside nursing. It translates to just nursing on unit, because there's been so many times in my unit experience where I, don't feel like doing this, so I'm going to push it off a little bit, or technically I don't have to do this, I'm not going to go the extra mile. There's kind of a little bit of laziness that kind of gets pushed aside because somehow you programmed your mind to either push back against that little negativity or just find a way to work around it or just silence it. And I feel like a lot of that is built in the gym. I feel like a lot of my stress that I hold on to gets put away in the gym. I'm able to just deal with things a little bit better, and I feel like that's a big thing for men and women. I know the way we look physically, that's always a big thing to us. We always compare ourselves. Oh, this girl's got a bigger butt. This girl's got some nice legs. They had that little gap in between their thighs, whatever that's called, and I don't. We always do that. We always compare ourselves, but lots of times we do that and we don't want to put that work in to attain those things. Sometimes those things aren't going to be able to be physically attained. That's something that you have to work past and understand that, hey, just because this person has this doesn't mean I should also have it. Yeah, it looks good, great for them. They got the good genetics, they could have it. But what is something I can do that will make me better in a sense? What are my physical strengths that I see that I have? And you might think you don't have any, but everybody has them. Lots of times it just takes a couple months or a couple weeks at the gym to figure those out, and then you kind of run with them. You're going to see that some girls have nice lower bodies, but their upper body there's nothing there. There's no muscle. They work it out all the time, but guess what? They just have a hard time developing upper body muscle. And I'm not saying you got to be this jacked female powerlifter or this bodybuilder, no. But we all want some definition in our back. We all want some definition in our arms. You might not be able to attain that thigh gap or those thin thighs because you naturally have bigger hips. That's okay. But guess what? You might be able to attain that more, you could say muscular or more of a healthier physique in your back or your arms. I'm not sure if I'm wording it correctly, but we want a nice frame. We don't gotta be swole. You girls out there don't gotta be a bodybuilder, but we do want some muscular definition, right? I'm sure girls out there want some muscular definition because it just looks good. You don't need all that giant muscle, but as long as you have some differentiation over here, here's my deltoids, here's my traps, just to see that it's there, that's all you need to make you feel better. And some people are going to attain that quicker than they are that lower body stuff. Like for me, my calves have always been the issue, and I don't know if I'm training them too little or too much or what, but it's like I feel like I've had the same calves all my life, no matter how much I adjust my workout and things like that. Some people are just genetically gifted, and it is what it is. Like look at, like for example, John Jones, for all my UFC fans out there. John Jones has the smallest calves in the world, but that guy can fuck somebody up. That guy can fuck anybody up, and he's huge. He's muscular, he's huge, but he's got those tiny ass calves. It just is what it is, So the gym helps you realize what are your physical strengths, where are you physically and genetically gifted, and it allows you that perspective where it's like, hey, I'm not all just bad. I do have some good physical qualities in me that I could highlight. And in general, you're going to look better regardless of what your genetic makeup is. If you're going from not working out to working out, or you're going from working out twice a week, 4 times a week, you're going to look better at the end of it. And it feels good that you could control some part of that look aspect. We can't really change the face that we're born with, right? But we could change other things that are going to complement us in different ways. And it makes you feel like you're more in control of things.